So without embracing the painful reality of total depravity, there can be no real embracing of brokenness either, because brokenness flows from that understanding. Genesis 8:21, the Lord said, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. And that is a very painful truth. And it is that my heart, left to its own devices, will always produce something contrary to God. Welcome to the simple truth from the Word of God. And we keep talking about brokenness because it's such a key issue for all of us believers. And when I say will produce contrary to God, it doesn't mean that my heart will produce the most evil thing always. It might produce morally something good. It might produce something that is good for society. Let's say out of peer pressure, I make sure to cut my lawn and to park my car properly because of the neighbors. But I am not doing it out of love. I'm not doing it out of faith. I'm definitely not doing it with joy. I'm definitely not doing it unto the Lord, but I grind my teeth while I do it. In fact, I hate my neighbors, but I'm just acting like, okay, you get the picture. This is very possible for us, that our heart would produce against God, and our hearts will do this always. And this is why Romans 8:7 and 8 say, because the carnal mind, this is our heart left to itself, our mind left to itself without the Lord refreshing, renewing, changing, and giving us something brand new. So, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. It cannot be, okay? So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God, because my heart will always produce something of itself, in itself, for itself, and God is not interested in that, because actually all glory is due to God, but that's not our topic today. This is why brokenness is so key, all right? So Jesus, in his saving work, he broke the power of the old sin nature, of the old heart over our every decision. This means that the old sin nature does not have absolute reign in our lives, okay? It cannot make every call. There is an alternative for us. And now we have decisions to make to avoid trusting that old nature daily. Now we have wisdom in the pages of the Bible calling us to give not only our ears but also our hearts to God. Proverbs 23:26, my son, give me your heart. God doesn't just want our our intellect, our listening, our attention, but he wants our heart, because he needs to change that and mold it and make it something different. So as long as this is why total depravity is so important. As long as I cradle even a sliver of hope that I can somehow embetter my own heart and somehow I can make my heart acceptable to God, I am just trying to do what Cain tried to do. When God clearly told them, showed them to give as a sacrifice a lamb, he was bringing his vegetables, and that's what I do. I bring my heart and I try to fix it and I try to polish it and I say, is it good enough? Is it good enough? And then I'm very, very disappointed because God is somehow not accepting it, and I'm thinking in my heart, I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking in my heart, God is a hard taskmaster. God is nasty. He is like a slave driver. How can he want so much from me when in reality he doesn't? He just wants me to give my heart to him. A huge part of brokenness is not to trust our own motivations and heart, but to give our motivations to God and desire and draw all our motivations from him. This is very key. Proverbs 4:23 tells us to guard our hearts. Okay, so you guard your heart. That's daily decisions, like I reject some of the filth that's coming my way, hopefully all of it, every day. Those are important daily decisions. But on the other hand, the best decision is to give our hearts to the God who can actually keep it, who's very capable of keeping it safe. And this is my question to you simply. Will you give your heart to him today, this morning? Will you say, Lord, I want your motivations instead of mine for this day? And that is a very important starting point for all of us.